Israeli forces attack Gaza City, killing at least 2 Palestinians as Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government defies global calls to end its blockade of the Strip, despite worsening humanitarian conditions. The Organization for Islamic Cooperation (OIC) endorses an Egypt-led proposal for Gaza's reconstructions that counters U.S. President Donald Trump's proposal to take over and turn the Strip into a Middle Eastern Riviera. Israel's military also bombs southern Lebanon, hitting the region 15 times in 30 minutes, in what local media says constitutes the highest concentration of strikes since the ceasefire with Hezbollah. Yemen's Houthis give Israel 4 days to lift its blockade of food, medicine, and shelter into Gaza or face renewed naval operations. Gaza's health ministry has confirmed 48,440 Palestinian deaths in Israel's war on Gaza, while 111,845 people have been wounded. The government media office updated its death toll to at least 61,709, saying thousands of Palestinians missing under the rubble are presumed dead. At least 1,139 people were killed in Israel during the October 7, 2023, Hamas-led attacks, and more than 200 were taken captive. The Trump administration is finalizing a new ban on travel to the United States for citizens of certain countries that would be broader than the versions President Trump issued in his first term, according to 2 officials familiar with the matter. A draft recommendation circulating inside the executive branch proposes a red list of countries whose citizens Mr. Trump could bar from entering the United States, said the officials, who spoke on the condition of anonymity to discuss the sensitive internal deliberations. One of the officials said the proposed red list currently consists mainly of countries whose nationals were restricted under versions of Mr. Trump's previous travel ban. Last time, those countries included Cuba, Iran, Libya, North Korea, Somalia, Sudan, Syria, Venezuela, and Yemen. The draft tentatively proposes adding Afghanistan to the group whose citizens would be categorically barred from entering the United States, according to one of the officials. Sean Van Diver, the head of a nonprofit group that helps resettle Afghans who worked with U.S. forces during the war, said he learned from officials that Afghan citizens would be subject to a complete travel ban. On Wednesday morning, the group put out an emergency statement titled "Afghan Travel Ban Coming" that urged Afghans with valid visas, who are currently outside the United States, to come back immediately. Later on Wednesday, Reuters also reported that Afghanistan would be recommended for a complete travel ban. The recommendations also have an orange group of countries whose access would be curtailed but not completely barred. For example, only certain types of visas might be issued, like for relatively affluent people traveling for business but not immigrants or tourists, and the length of visas could be shortened. Applicants would be required to have in-person interviews. Mr. Van Diver said officials had told him Pakistan would end up in this tier or the stricter red tier. Countries in a third or yellow category would be given 60 days to change some perceived deficiencies, or they would be added to one of the 2 other lists, the officials said. Those issues could include failing to share with the United States information about incoming travelers, purportedly inadequate security practices for issuing passports, or the selling of citizenship to people from banned countries as a loophole around the restrictions. It is not clear whether people with existing visas would be exempted from the ban, or if those visas would be canceled. Many Afghans have been approved for resettlement in the United States as refugees or under special visas granted to people who assisted the United States during the war. It is also not clear whether green card holders who are approved for permanent residency would be affected. About 200,000 Afghans in their native country and 51,000 outside, half in Pakistan, are in the official pipeline to come to the United States, with tens of thousands ready to travel, and with housing in the works or already arranged, said Mr. Van Diver, a Navy veteran who is president of Afghanivac, the nonprofit group. This is the most vetted population that there has ever been, he said in an interview on Thursday. It is crazy how much these people go through.